What's up, guys? Episode 3 here with Devin from Deathwish and Shreddy Eddie. I just can't stop saying Shreddy Eddie from this day forward, which technically that doesn't sound right. It should be from this day forward. Right? Not from this day forward?
Swing and a miss.
We'll go with the double negative.
Okay, from this day forward. That was a problem I had when I was actually, I guess, putting that as the title on Facebook. I'm like, Spencer Maloney with this from the safe word, and I couldn't figure out which one actually fit, so I just went of. But then I'm gonna have somebody with a band that has of, like, let's just say Austin Carlisle. It'd be, well, he's not in the band anymore, but you'd be like,
I think you'd get more issues like of Virtue or something.
yeah, of Virtue, yeah. Didn't they just play?
Yeah, it's weird that transformation they've made since losing. God, what is his damn name? The one that started, I think Narrative was his new band or whatever. I can't remember his name.
Did you play that show? You guys played that
no,
show.
they did.
We did.
You guys didn't open.
We played second.
Yeah, Live and Obey opened. Did you? Okay, so yesterday, this is how this all came about, right? So yesterday, I posted something about the podcast on Facebook, and Devin jumped in, and he kind of talked it into actually happening. So I can't remember what the argument between Anthony and Austin Schoening was.
Anthony and Jake Schoening?
Yeah, Jake Schoening. There.
Oh.
I was like, Austin Schoening. Yeah, so they were going back and forth about something, and then Devin's like, yeah, you should just get me and Forrest on. And then I was like, yeah, we'll get you scheduled. And then look, he's here now.
Hey.
But no Forrest, because vocalists suck.
I tried.
No, he's alright. He's just a busy boy between his job and his lady and whatnot, so.
You mean his job in anime?
Yes.
Okay, that's a real question I have. What is with like the hardcore scene and anime? Why does it tie together so well?
I think what it is it's just a kind of a crossing of cultures. Shish. I think what it is it's just basically a crossing of cultures. I've noticed that a lot of hardcore kids are also anime fans. It's just now that it's kind of became a thing where we're realizing we don't have to kind of like keep the two apart. Like you can kind of mix the two together, and especially with some of the art styles that like anime goes for, you get some really sick art which fits well with the genre of music. Like as I've worn a couple of them. I know Dread from New Jersey did a really sick one that I wear all the time. I have pictures of them on Facebook. We had our Intrinsic Thoughts was an anime rip.
Yeah.
We had
well, shit, you're the first Deathwish one, the black and pink one, wasn't it? Kind of anime. Yeah,
it was more
anime.
streetwear.
Okay.
Is what the way we went on that one. Then we had the kind of like the etched like kanji style kind of going off of that one.
What about you? Are you into anime?
I am.
Yeah? See it? I'm the outcast here.
Is it? But you always have, every time you go into anime though, you have to be like the one where it's like, are you into anime or are you into the other side?
Yeah.
You know, it's really weird, but I feel like a lot of our generation, we kind of grew up with Toonami. You know, being able to watch that as like kids, so that kind of like progressed, you know, into our adulthood. Just because, like, you know, a lot of that anime is for, you know, more mature, viewers, audiences. You know, we don't really let go of that. You know, it's always been entertaining. So.
Well, the stories always sucked you in from the get-go. Like it was something that even as a kid, like you could.
The character development.
Yeah.
That's what gets me, is that anime has the best character development. And that, you know, rather than hunting down like, you know, your favorite reality TV show with, you know, corny plots, you know, anime just has, you know, a whole library full of them that, because you could just, you know, bust more of those out than you could trying to drag more people in.
It allows you to soak up the story more, because like I'll always take something where it's like it's a story that I can follow and it's like very easily followed throughout the series and whatnot, versus like how you explained it, like reality shows where it's like I can't stand that crap because like why the fuck do I care what a Kardashian's doing today? Like
nobody cares. See, when I think
I want
of
to see someone's ass get kicked. Like
when I think of anime, I just think of like Japanese music. I know it's very stereotypical, and then it just leads me to baby metal. Like, baby metal's music is made for anime. Agree or disagree?
How?
Tell me the song Karate.
No. So there's one defense I have for that is there's a band I listen to called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and they actually do a lot of anime themes, or like they've done themes for it. Like they've done stuff for like Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember some of the other ones, but I think they did one for Akame. I think I can't remember. It's like
don't look at me. I'm not the anime guy.
Well, like, Baby Metal, I could see it, but I think they would charge like insane amounts for them to do that.
Yeah.
Or I honestly think the next one that might be in that next reign of like getting into like anime music is I have to bring it up Poppy. I have to bring up Poppy. Have you neither of you heard Poppy yet? Oh my god! So now this is how you get to this. So Poppy was the one that was kind of like the YouTube celebrity that was kind of going around acting like almost like she was like a robot of some sort. And she did like some super poppy stuff. Poppy. But and recently they came out with some songs that were more heavier because she did a song with Fever 333. Yeah, it was so good. And, I mean, I know that my band is going to give me shit because they've given me and Forrest shit for saying we've even enjoyed it. But after a couple listens, it's actually pretty tolerable to listen to. I listened to and shown my dad her newest single that she just put out on Sumerian called Concrete, and it seemed like the metal community blew the fuck up about that single because they either loved it or hated it, which kind of seems to be like a lot of things similar to Baby Metal. Because I remember when you brought it up, when you bring it up around the scene now, it's either like, oh yeah, it's so cool, or you get to
yeah, it's such a little niche market, and I think that's the thing with the type of music we play and what we listen to. Is everybody expects us. I say us because we're like a community, right? They expect us. That's all that we listen to. When, for example, I even showed Deanna this the other day. One of my favorite artists right now is a girl called Sigrid, and she's from Norway. She's just a pop singer, but there's just what happened?
Someone's knocking on the back door.
Deanna! But, yeah, there's a lot of different music that I listen to, and I think once you get associated with... You're good. I think once you get associated with this community, what people think is, oh, they only listen to heavy stuff.
Right.
Which is totally incorrect. Couldn't be further from the truth. That was weird. It's like two knocks.
Oh, maybe it was the cat.
Could have been the cat.
Cat, you got some thick paws? You got some heavy hands?
Thick.
That's disturbing.
All right.
I take cat. Yeah, that's kind of weird. But yeah, getting back to it, heavy music isn't all that we listen to.
I'll say we were talking about it at dinner with my girlfriend's parents this time, where they I'm a huge Missy Elliott fan.
Really?
Yeah, no, 100%. I've been rocking her for as long as I can remember, and she's been like the one thing that's kind of like kept solid through there. And now like seeing that she's kind of going back at it made me like super happy. But like if you look at me, the last thing you would ever picture is like
Missy
Poppy and Missy Elliott, and like I listen to like a lot of like older stuff too. Like I've been getting like a lot more into like more retro stuff recently, just because it's like after listening to the same for like so many years, you gotta start kind of stretching yourself out there. I also have the kind of my own band members to thank for that, because we listen to a little bit of everything. Like we'll still have our times in the van where we'll jam beat down and what have you, but we've had times where Colton will be playing like jazz in the van, and Ethan will be playing like 2000s electronica. Like
sometimes you got to get away from it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of nice.
What's
and then
your
Forrest
guilty?
will play like K-pop.
What's your guilty pleasure? We shouldn't even say guilty pleasure. What's the stuff you like to listen to other than heavy stuff? Like plug an artist for everybody.
For my favorite chill step artist is Black Mill. Other than that, they just have some really baller playlists out there for chill step. So
chill step. So I'm gonna take it. If I was to take a guess, I don't know what chill step is. You got dubstep, and then the complete opposite spectrum.
It's
chill step.
So instead of like excessive drops, it's very mellow, and
similar to like lo-fi or something, or
kinda, except it's more like synth wave.
Oh, okay.
So like when the beat drops, it just kind of like comes in and out with like the wubs, but it's like it's so subtle and so gentle that like you could honestly like fall asleep to it.
I was about to say, it sounds like
I'd have to imagine watching one of those shows would end up being like, you probably got that one person in the audience that's just like, yeah,
falling asleep. Everybody brought a bed. They brought a
a blanket.
They brought a cot to the show. You got 50 people at the show, 50 people taking a nap at the same time.
Buy some pillows from the merch booth.
Perfect. What's the weirdest thing you've seen sold at a booth? You remember when booty shorts used to be a thing?
It's still a thing.
Yeah?
It's still a thing. You just have to find like the right band that does it.
And I don't want to talk about it.
Did you guys do that? Did you buy
this band did not, but
wait a minute. I think I remember.
One previous band I was in, we sold booty shorts.
Alright, see you guys later. We're gonna end it here.
Get that picture in your head.
I'm not doing that again.
No booty shorts.
No booty shorts.
I'm trying to think of what like the best thing for marketing would be. Granted, you have shirts, but if you want people to see it the most, you'd think like, just give me a whole grill to the front of my car that says a band name. How about that?
So the weirdest thing I think I've ever remember seeing it, I just can't remember who did it. I'm almost certain I remember there was a band that came to town and brought condoms, like branded condoms with their name on them. I can't remember who I think did that though.
Sounds like an Attila move.
It does sound like an Attila move.
Oh my! I think Attila is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Although Franz has been talking about some crazy stuff lately, but you know he's gonna do his own thing, and I respect him for that. He's outspoken and he doesn't care, and I respect him as a person. He's an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't he start his own record label?
He started his own record label,
and most
of
his bands on his label are doing pretty damn well right now.
Yeah.
So
you go to watch his like first house show video.
Watch him on Made.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Now
that you bring that up.
You see stuff like that, as well as like other bands like A Day to Remember, where they were doing like house shows too, and now they're only playing like large venues now. So like you see the growth in that. So like they're doing better than me. So I can't say shit.
Well, it's like look at Knocked Loose as like a prime example.
Who?
Don't know. I know you're fucking kidding me.
Don't know that band.
No, because like the way I always kind of look at their growth is, I remember when I first saw them, it was with Kingmaker, with Ghosts Like You when Forrest was still in the band, and Varmint, and I think Knocked Loose, Kingmaker, and I think Left Behind was on that too. And they played to 30 kids. Like I'm almost certain it might have even been less than that. And now I just remember the last time I went and saw them, and they have a packed, almost sold out venue, and it's insane to see where those guys have gone in the very short amount of time. It gives like bands like ours like kind of hope, where it's like, you know what, we can make it. We just have to.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Just keep your head up about it.
Exactly.
Well, I think for your guys' band, for example, when you guys first started, you guys already had such a following that it wasn't hard to draw a crowd. And the same goes for you. And social media has kind of worked its way, or worked its magic, I mean, I looked at Spencer's friend list. It's like 3,000 people.
It's enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And yours, probably like 10. But I mean, no. It's probably up there.
No, it's getting up there because we've been starting to make more connections with like a lot of super cool bands, like from our last run that we did with Remain the Sustain with Crows.
Mm-hmm.
Rip in peace with Crows. I'm gonna miss those motherfuckers. That was one that we got like a lot of good connections from. That we actually still have a group chat going on between Remain the Sustain, Deathwish, and with Crows that is still on and popping to this day.
Right.
And the tour's been a couple months back now, but I don't know. It's just kind of been cool because we've been starting to make some new connections, like especially with me starting to do like video work at like shows. That gets me a lot of new connections, ones I wouldn't have expected to make either. So.
Do you have a business?
Working on it.
Yeah.
After the degree comes out, which I graduate in November. So.
I was gonna say, you said it's your last semester.
Last
on
quarter,
Facebook.
yeah.
Last quarter.
Oh, it looks like it's gonna be a doozy though. So
it's been pretty tough being in a band and school at the same time.
Especially when it's like I'm trying to get my life started, and I have so many people telling me it's like, when are you gonna get like started and like grow up and like actually like start like living like life how you're supposed to. It's like, okay, so I'm going to continue to be miserable at a job that I don't like just because this is what I'm told to do or this is what I'm supposed to do. No. I will admit that I'm almost certain that if Deathwish doesn't, quote, make it or like become something, it probably will be my last big attempt at band. If anything, I'll just stick to like local and maybe like a cover band or something.
Yeah.
But it's hard because I have to balance I had to balance my work, I had to balance my school, I had to balance time with my girlfriend, I also had to just balance time to take care of myself. And it's just finding that like prime balance, which I'm still kind of working on. Just making sure that everything kind of gets taken care of. But I mean, like, I wouldn't change it for the world because like now I'm gonna be able to start, hopefully once I get my degree, like start shooting videos when we go out on the road and whatnot. I've already kind of started doing that a little bit, but when you already have tour videographers, you kind of just stay back.
So. What about you? What do you have going on besides the band? You got a full-time job or part-time?
I do full-time. I've been on quite the job hunt, so just trying to find a just trying to find a job that is willing to invest in me as much as I am in them, because like I want to go to school at some point, but the trick is to finding a job that will pay the schooling for you. And that people don't think that that's really possible, but like it happens all the time, and you just gotta shoot for the stars on that one. Mm-hmm. If you end up like making like a background, so like I've done customer care for like the last 2 years, so you could apply it in like a hospital or something for like administrator, or like a receptionist, and then they can easily take you to school, or like you can go to school for something else, because like once you're in, you can just start floating around within like the company, so like I have an open mind right now about a lot of stuff. Right now I'm doing tech support for irrigation, and I just applied at a job, we
both made the same look there.
Yeah, and now I just applied for a job that will like instead of doing it over phones, like I'm actually doing it like hands on.
Nice.
So like I'll be getting that like hands on experience, which is not exactly ideal for me, because I definitely don't like labor, but money talks, hands down. And it's still a trade that can go a long ways. Any trade you make, you can go a long ways with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to pick an ideal job right now, like if you were to just quit everything, you can keep your band, have a job on the side, what are you picking?
Ghostwriting.
You're gonna ghostwrite? You're gonna be a Sia of the hardcore scene?
If I had the stability right now and a good chunk of money where I could just like hide away in a room, and solid music equipment that I could just...
You mean Jeremy Schaefer?
Yeah, if I had a setup like his where I could just like chill, do my thing, I could definitely ghostwrite for, a lot of bands.
Yeah.
That actually does pay off really well, because like even like there's a lot of vocalists out there, that might have a hard time like finding bands, or like anybody else that just has a hard time putting a band together that just needs music just to hold something down. They'll pay for it. They will. They're out there. The world's a big place, and there's always a demand for music. Like there's websites out there that just throwing this out, but like hip hop artists, like you don't need a producer. You just go on a website and just throw down $100 for a beat, and you're good.
Is it the app Fiverr? I think that's what it's called.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I looked at that.
Is it something like that?
I don't think it's that, but
there's some app There's some app that I keep finding on Facebook where
literally just through like just talking to people, you can really figure out like I know like a lot of like people in town have been starting to like make like beats or like, but then it's like a thing of finding like the ones that like making legitimate things, like not just sitting there in GarageBand.
Well, Anthony, I don't know how to say his last name. Flakus. He's
Captain
a great
Claw.
Yeah. I've seen that. So he's
boy.
He's a great example of somebody who's went from Live and Obey, who's just a hardcore band,
to Bastille.
Yeah, and he likes Bastille, but then he goes and plays with a rap act.
Oh no,
Jay
yeah,
Crumb.
He's diverse as all hell, but and it's respectable because he's done like everything. He's done like his kind of like synth pop act.
Mm-hmm.
Which rip in peace that too, but it seems like he's started to kind of become a lot happier with like Live and Obey. He just seems like a generally happier person recently.
I think to appreciate your own music, you almost kind of have to see it from the outside, and I guess to get better at music, you have to get outside of your own genre.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
So you can't always play chug 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 breakdown.
And I think that goes back to something that we were talking about earlier. Like when we were mentioning like what other music we listen to. Because like I would definitely create Showstep if I had the VSTs to do it. I gave it a shot the other day, and then I was actually sending it to my producer Anu. And then when I was bouncing it, I actually forgot to save it, and then my dog crashed on me, and the only thing that was saved was like the first 30 seconds.
How many White Claws were consumed afterwards?
Oh man.
What flavor?
Well, I got black cherry at home, and I think it was about like 3. I'm a lightweight, and I don't need that much.
So funny enough, I've never had White Claw. Granted,
it's not bad.
Right now I can't drink because I'm on keto. Well, I mean, I can drink on keto, but the thing is,
you have to be choosy.
Yeah. I told myself I'm not going to drink for the whole month, so I'm seeing how long I can do that. And right now I'm down 12 pounds. by just stopping my drinking. I drink coffee. Monster, I know it's still bad. Yeah, Monster is a necessity. I drink coffee, water, Monster, and then I go to the gym, and I'm like right now, probably lift up a truck.
See, I've recently quit energy drinks like altogether because I was kind of stupid, and when I was working a sedentary job, I was doing a bang a day for a week. And when you're sitting down and you do an energy drink that's meant for, workouts, I come to find out if you don't burn the energy, because half the time when I would get home from work, I would go home and go to sleep, your body doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah. So I almost had a caffeine overdose.
See, I get sleep paralysis, and I found this out. If you drink energy drinks before you go to bed or caffeine before you go to bed, it can cause sleep paralysis. And maybe I've got the definition wrong, but what I've seen or what I experience is like I can see the dream and I can feel it. So my eyes are closed. I can feel my body tensing up, and I feel like I'm there, but I can't move.
Dude, I get that. I go through like a sleep paralysis episode at least once every 2 weeks or more. And I feel like stress also has to relate with that too. Because like you'll be in like a dream and you start to become conscious somewhat, and then like you're trying to wake up, and then like you just
can't get out of it.
You feel like you're convulsing a little bit, and then like you wake up sweating, like you have a night sweat, and like
what will happen to me is that'll happen. Okay, so for example, this used to happen when I used to work at Berkshire. I'd get off work at 3:30 and I had to work at 5. I'd get home at about 3:45. I'd try to take a nap for 45 minutes. And I'd get to sleep pretty quick, and then I'd start having the sleep paralysis. I'd like lock up, and I'd wake up, and I'd look at my phone, and it'd only be 15 minutes from when I went to sleep.
Oh my god, those are the absolute worst.
Ugh.
Yeah, but I think it was the stress of, hey, I know I want to go home and take a nap really quick.
Yeah.
And then if I don't wake up, I'm missing hours out of my next job.
Yep.
It's like I gotta sleep, but I also gotta be up at the same time.
see, I had to suffer kind of through a similar thing because, like, what I'll do is I work like 6 to 2 at my job, and then I'll go home, eat something, and I've recently made a weird discovery of mine that's happened. I don't know if anyone else suffers through it like I do, but I'll lay down to take a nap, and if I ate something and before I lay down for the nap, when I wake up, my heart is dead racing because my body's trying to metabolize the food energy, but I'm asleep.
Ugh.
So
I was gonna say
I just wake up and I'm just like.
I was gonna say maybe you're puking it up because we all know that you are the master of puking on yourself.
Yeah.
Man,
Are we gonna go into the Deathwish parties? Or are we gonna keep this?
You hang out with some mean people.
Okay,
I remember. How about this? I remember the first time he had a drink in public. It was at Sokol.
What was the drink? I don't even remember.
I don't know, but
it was something weak too, if I remember correctly too.
I don't know. You were against drinking for the longest time, and so was I.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start drinking until I was about 19, and then I can remember at a show at Sokol Underground.
You saw me with something, and I remember you called it out like instantly.
Yeah.
No,
times have changed, Devin.
No, it's funny because like I was talking to Ty Leslie about it because he was talking about it. He was like, God damn it, I like ruin people because like he got a hold of me when I started hanging out with Deathwish because I used to be like, Tyler knows this, and I mean Eddie knows gist of it, where I used to be like super positive Christian band dude, and then after Enemy Memory, which was kind of like weird mix to where it's like we had some negativity, but I think it was just more towards each other. I started playing with Deathwish, and just everything just kind of all started at once. Then I like started partying more with these guys, and I mean now they're literally some of my best fucking friends. So I wouldn't change anything. But the thing is, for a while there, I didn't know my limits because all I was trying to do is like, I'm notorious as I'm the early knockout. I'm the one that always. You remember, like I'd always be the one that knocked out first, even when like there wasn't like drinking involved. Because like even when we used to go over and like hang out with like Forrest at his old place for like the bonfires and whatnot, I'd be the one knocked out on the couch before anyone else.
Do you remember your first time getting drunk?
Yeah, good time.
Well, you weren't drunk. He wasn't drunk because he remembers it.
No, I remember.
Trick question, gotcha.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I've only blacked out once ever, and that is why I actually don't do shots anymore.
That's right.
Keep going.
I was so like this. It was. I think it was like when I was like 19 and I was still living with my brother. I ended up getting like a pint of Fireball, and like I had already been drinking that night, and then I ended up drinking that much because Fireball was about like the only liquor that I could continue to just keep taking pulls.
Eddie weighs like 130 pounds, so
not even, dude. Just
6 pounds. He's 6 pounds in the flesh.
So like I took about like 6 pulls out of it, which is just like capping it. So, and then I'm not driving my own car, and the night is just so vague, and then I pull myself up from out of my seat from all of a sudden I'd holding my pint, and there's like this much left. And I was just like, what happened? And then like later that night, I guess like there was like puke on like my ceiling, and I don't really know how that ended up getting there. Like
what? Like
it would just like how like we have like the couch right here. It would be like up there.
Dude,
not like
that's kind of
it's
impressive.
just like
straight exorcist shit. Just with
oh my god, that's one of the most disturbing scenes in the movie Exorcist, where she's pissing on the ground. She's just like in her own piss and
nope.
No, I think I can only top that by a slight a bit. Only certain people in the scene knew about this one because I had a small birthday get together at my place, and we made this concoction that we found off of Tipsy Bartender for a jungle juice. So the recipe included 3 handles of like cheap ass vodka.
Jesus.
And it was like there was like a lot of juice, so I thought it was gonna be like whatever. But I ended up making mistakes, and before we even got into the jungle juice, my friend brought over a bunch of alcohol and we started doing shots. I want to say I maybe lasted like I'm sure a comment or something will probably verify that I'm wrong, but it was like 2 hours, maybe not even that. We went outside to everyone smoked. I was sitting there still just having my drink. You know, I was in the moment, but like you could tell I was starting to kind of fade out there. We get back to my house, and I'm sitting in a chair, and apparently I just go straight slumped. Like I'm like this the entire time.
Dead.
So they take me upstairs, or correction, they tried to get me to eat some crackers. So they hand me a bunch of crackers. Apparently,
Handful.
Ty has a video of it.
Yep.
And I eat it like a goddamn apple.
He goes, puts them onto his face.
And yeah, actually later on that night, to make sure I was okay, Vince and Ty came upstairs and they're like shining a light in my face because of recording or whatever. Vince, I'm pretty sure, just straightforward, just kind of slapped me across the face.
I remember this video so well.
My birthday was real rough, but it was a good time from what I could remember. I mean, I've had my own disaster thing. That's why it's kind of nice that with White Claw, it's not as disastrous. I mean, I still have my times where I'll get like drunk, but I mean, like my favorite times is when I'm like I know I'm drunk, and like the couple shows that you would be drunk together, and we would just start picking each other up and like spinning across the goddamn room.
Yep.
So one of the best stories I have, as far as not me being drunk. So when I used to live in out at the big house in Council Bluffs,
I remember.
we had this big house party, and Caitlin, my old roommate, she went out of town from like Wednesday till Sunday. So I hit people up on Wednesday night, and I said, hey, party, Friday or Saturday night. I can't remember which one it was. The biggest party I've ever had in that amount of time, I got like 30, I think I had 30 people go. And I told them about it on a Wednesday, so it's just word of mouth, kept going. So I don't want to say who it was who brought the person. She brought 2 girls, and they came over and just got schwasty, right? So
Welcome to the T-cast.
yeah. So they got pretty drunk, and in that house, my room was upstairs, and these very steep stairs. They were almost vertical, right? So these 2 girls, or a whole bunch of girls, started bitching, moaning, arguing, whatever. So all the guys go upstairs because I have a computer up there. So we're playing golf it with friends. We're just all playing up there, and then all of a sudden,
the girls downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm just going
I
upstairs.
Yeah, all the guys
about that, and we were cracking the fuck up.
all the guys upstairs, girls downstairs, right? So they go, well, where'd the guys go? So you see, like, a couple girls start weeding up there, right? So there's 3 of them, and that one girl that I said just a little bit ago, she was like Exorcist, like she's laying on the ground. All of a sudden, she would like pop up and start screaming. What is going on? And it came to the point where Tori and Adelia both came up and were like, "Hey, you guys need to come downstairs. Leave these guys alone." And then they walk downstairs, and then all of a sudden you hear, fucking girl dolphin dived 12 stairs face first.
Heavy.
She missed it.
Wasn't that like, I remember I came to that party, and that was after I left, because I remember you
Yeah.
told me about the next day. He's like, dude, you should have stuck around for like 20 more minutes.
The girl with dolphin dives like 12 stairs. She gets up. Good. Good.
God.
She probably had a concussion, but oh my god, that's one of the funniest moments ever. Granted, she's probably good now or has brain issues, who knows, but I haven't heard from her, so she could be dead.
God.
That's heavy.
That's fucked.
So after that, Adelia and Tori and all them, anytime they'd see something about steep stairs, they'd tag me on Facebook. Your stairs.
See, I feel like that's like what Flakis is right now with Claws. Can we just fully admit to the fact that Flakis has gotten just taken over by the goddamn Claw?
I tried hitting him up today because same thing. He said something about wanting to be on. I already scheduled him. And then I hit up Mr. Schoening, and I'm like, hey, your boy's not answering. Maybe you can get a hold of him. And then he still hasn't answered. So what is he doing today?
I always hit him up like randomly to just like hang out and like drink or whatever, because like, oh yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should explain what happened.
Do it.
Screw it. We had a little get together at Flakis' place. I don't know if I told you about this yet, but we had a small get together at his place. We got there. I brought a bottle of rum, and Jenna brought some moonshine. My girlfriend Jenna brought some moonshine. It was like Hy-Vee, like, you know, like 70 proof.
Right.
Not a big deal. We get there, we knock on the door, and we're like, Ficus, come let us in. And we just hear it's like, I'm coming. Oh, fuck. He hit the floor. He flipped the floor trying to go answer the door. So we're like, okay, whatever. It's fine. He's just he's a new social drinker, so.
Oh, he didn't start drinking till late?
Until recently, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we go in there. Everyone's having a good time.
Underdeveloped.
He's drinking claws or whatever. And then I pulled out the moonshine because I was like, okay, let's get this stuff started. Who wants to have some? So we're taking swigs or whatever. Anthony Ficus, I apologize to this, for this over and over again. But the dude takes it. I'm expecting him to take a swig. Dude straight chugs.
Oh, and your eyes just go...
And I'm just like, no. So, and again, I apologize, Ficus, because that basically set your tone for the rest of the night. He ends up basically like just getting like worse and worse from there. Like we're trying to like eat, like make food and whatnot, and he's just stumbling all over the place. No. It was like a fun time, but I like felt so bad afterwards because I'm just like.
You did it. You're an enabler. I
was the one that did it. But I didn't expect him to chug it because I remember at one point we were all sitting outside the bonfire and we look, and poor Ficus is just laying just dead on the couch, just like, here, have some water, buddy. Like, and I'm like, I did this.
And then you're like, I used to be in that position all the time.
I still kind of am.
Yeah. Are you an enabler? Who do you make drink?
I actually don't enable anyone. I'm usually the one that's
enabled.
Cool your jets. I actually don't get drunk that much anymore.
Good, it's bad for you.
I'm actually just trying to find a picture of like one of the latest ones, and I believe it was, or I shouldn't say latest because I was living with Spencer at the time, so it was well over a year ago.
Was that the one where you were like taking like a nap or whatever? What?
Yeah.
Both. Yeah to both. He was taking a nap and he used to live close to Mutual Omaha.
Okay. It's not on the Instagram. But some of you will know what I'm talking about and some of you won't.
Were you sleeping naked?
I was not. What had actually happened is that I was just drinking a lot that night, and I was I was a stoner then. I actually don't smoke weed anymore. But Jacob ended up coming over and we were just having like a bros night, just hanging out, playing some video games and some Grand Theft Auto, and then
the good shit.
I was in my room just like playing guitar for like a little while, and then like you're just too drunk and you just can't play anymore. So like I tried getting over to Spencer's room, and I had this moon chair, so like you have like the cushion for it, and I grabbed my cushion. I didn't make it very far, but I just wanted to like hang out with the boys, but like there wasn't much room to sit, so like I get through the doorway and I meant to like set it down, but I didn't set it down. I just fell on top of it, and then I couldn't get back up, so I just passed out there.
This is where I'm parking. This is where I'm staying.
Oh my God.
And then at some point later, and then I ended up moving to my bed, but like I was there for a grip, and better to do it at home than out in public.
Right.
Speaking of somebody falling, I was at Oakview earlier. I was walking to get out past Burger King, and all of a sudden this girl's just normally walking, and then she does the splits. Slips on nothing. So she goes like...
That sounds like just someone wanting to show
her
off.
Her legs go... and you just hear a thud.
Strike a fucking pose, I guess.
You just hear a thud, and her son's like, "You okay?" She goes, "Yeah, there's something over here." She's pointing at the drumstick. "Oh, there's something over here." She just fell out of nowhere. I've never seen anything like that. At all.
Some people just aren't in great relationships with gravity.
Yeah, gravity wins sometimes.
So,
too often.
Did you find it?
And I didn't find that picture, but I found another glorious one that's a big roast. So, I was in a project called Keeper of the Morgue for several years, trying to kick some shit off with my vocalist Fred.
Durst?
Schultz.
Shut the fuck up.
I love. If you don't know, I fucking love Limp Bizkit.
But he,
Limp Bizkit.
so, anyways, me and Fred used to get just like hammered and just like doing some like crazy drinking games. Like we used to sit there and like watch like Lord of the Rings. Like the first 2 movies were like really great for this. So anytime like a formal name is said, you take a drink. So like you think about it, because every time somebody gets spoken to, they say their name.
Ugh.
Or anytime like the ring is mentioned, you take a drink. Or every time Gollum says Gollum, you take a drink.
And it's like a 9-hour movie too.
Oh
so.
my god.
So here's one of my roast pictures. It's on their page too. It's all the way back from 2015.
Yeah,
when you had the big poof, I forgot.
Here, I'll show the podcast. This was me way back when.
Fucking Eddie Scissorhands over there.
Yep.
Eddie Scissorhands. Oh my god.
That was 4 years ago, me.
But now look, you've grown up. You've gained 3 pounds.
Yup.
No, I love those kind of moments though. Except mine isn't as, I would say, proud of a drinking game moment, because we didn't even have a drinking game. I remember one night, me and the guitarist of Deathwish, Colin, was over at my house, and we had been drinking like pretty steadily that night, and we hit that weird point of like we're still up around like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're just like, there's nothing good on, and I realized, oh shit, I have Andy Milanaka's show on DVD. We pop that in, and we watch a couple episodes where we have a couple drinks, and we both pass out. The best part of it was we forgot to turn off the DVD player before we went to bed, so the episode stopped, but the theme song kept rolling, and one of us laid on the remote, so at one point the volume was at like 50, so every couple of minutes we were just like, I rock peas on the head, and then we just like go through the whole thing, and then I rock peas on the head. My dad comes down at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's just like, could you turn that down? And we're like, what are you talking about? And then we hear like, it's like midway through the theme song, and then we hear it roll back out again. Me and Colin just bust out laughing. Like, we don't know what's so fucking funny, but just like, it fades out like, I rock peas on my head.
Keeps going over and over.
And oh my god, we were just cracking up, and we were like half asleep cracking up too. Like those are like the favorite times though.
Yeah, that
like,
used to happen on DVD all the time. You'd fall asleep before the end. Oh, by the way, I wanted to go see It too.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how long that fucking movie is?
Isn't it like 2.5?
2.5, or it's like 2:43.
Try sitting there watching the full 1990 miniseries in one swoop. That's fun.
Of
the original 1990s.
this miniseries?
It's technically a TV miniseries for the Tim Curry version.
I'm out.
That's almost, I think between the two it's like 5 or 6 hours.
I'm still out.
I have too much respect for Tim Curry.
Pitch a show to me. I'm Mark Cuban. Like we're on Shark Tank. Go ahead. Pitch a show to me. Or pitch
a reality
to me.
show involving the scene drama.
Tell me more.
I don't know. Like it just like I don't know if you have the same thoughts that I do, Eddie, when you see like a lot of stuff that goes on within our scene, like with like dramatics and whatnot. That a lot of it is just childish and fucking stupid.
It can be. I feel like it's gotten better.
It's definitely gotten better because we're all starting to like kind of realize
we grow
ruining it.
We grow up. Mm. We let shit go.
Well, I think the thing is it's almost like a small town. Everybody knows everybody's business. Mm-hmm. So when there's a breakup or when somebody does something that gets publicized because you see one side of the story on Facebook. And
God. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I mean,
and then it almost feels like you have to take sides, and then people stop going to shows because they're afraid to see their ex. And
well, and that's another thing. It's like I was kind of using that more as a joke. It's like scene drama, like it's gonna happen anywhere, but it's like I will definitely say it's been worse. It has been far, far worse, where there was a lot more competition going on, and just less support and more like. Almost more, it felt like hatred. It seemed like everyone was kind of like divided against each other, where it was like metal kids only like went to metal shows and like
but
it seems like it's starting to kind of mix back together, which is kind of real nice.
Yeah, Ty brought this up on the last podcast about how we were talking about push-pits versus hardcore pits.
Oh God.
those are
that's a rough argument.
It's so weird because like I'm a fan of like both. Granted, I'm not really into like the whole push pit because I'm really fucking tiny and I don't like being launched across the room. But I enjoy the music, but like I also understand that like if you're like close to like the pit and you get knocked in it or you end up getting shoved, then like you need to like relocate your dumbass because like like it's like common sense would tell you if you're in a place that is going to get a little active, move. If you're not about it, move. If you got a drink in your hand, move. Otherwise, you're not in a place to bitch, complain, because you should have nobody. You have nobody else to complain about but yourself because you're the dumbass that was there in the first place. You should have been either in the back or off to the side where nothing would have happened to you. And it is like that at any show you go to. It is common sense. I don't know how you're making it, man.
So Ty and I had this discussion. Yeah, we had this discussion about...
I'm sure it's much longer.
No, we had this discussion about knowing where you are in the room. And like, if you're in the front's for jumping or you're going to get punched in the back of the head. Depends what type of show you're at. If you're on the sides, you're going to get kicked by Devin. Like, if you're on the side, you're going to get Super Mario Bros. Off the fucking platform.
I'll admit I've been toning it down a bit. And, like, so everyone, like, assumes that, like, it's, like, super fucking violent and whatnot. It's, like, it depends on the show you go to. Yes, there's ones where it's super violent towards everybody. But there are certain shows, and everyone can verify this, where it's literally just me and Colton beating the absolute shit out of each other. Because you've seen it a couple times where, like, Colton will be going like this on me, and then it's like, okay, let's go. But, like, in that argument, though, I think one thing that needs to happen is... It may seem like extra work, but it's not that hard to literally like look up the bands that you're going to go see, look at their shows, like look to what to expect. Like if you're going to like a band that you may not know, and then you find out, oh hey, they're a beatdown band. Guess what?
If there's a band,
that means there's gonna be fist swinging. Like
if there's a band called Jesus Piece, hang out in the bar.
Yeah, we got some good stories from that show.
That's the most wild show as far as crowd interaction.
Cold on Jesus Piece and Malevolence has still been the craziest show to date.
It goes from the stage back to the merge tables, and you're not safe.
Poor Colin got clocked by the vocalist of Jesus Piece.
That was honestly like the craziest pit I've ever seen was actually at Sokol when it was actually 4 Knocked Loose. The Acacia Strain was headlining that night, and it was Oceano too.
Oh, so shit. That was
I think it was about like 3 years.
That was a Common Vision tour, I think it was.
Who cares? Just keep going.
Anyways, so I was actually bullshitting with Jake Schoening outside because like I honestly wasn't a big fan of just the actual hardcore music thing. Like I'm a hardcore kid in a more of a metalcore way, but as far as like the whole two-step aspect, like I wasn't really big into that at that time, and I was actually just getting a feel for it, so I didn't really care to see Knock Loose. But my happy ass walked in there to go get a beer, and like I just I grab my beer and I go in, and like literally like from like the front to like half of the back of Sokol was just everybody just like two-stepping and swinging. Like I was just like standing next to the wall, just chilling watching, and this kid just comes up to me and just smacks my beer out of my hand. It's just like, you could have just like hit me, dude, not just like I didn't even get to drink that.
Did you stop him after the song and be like,
I couldn't.
He was $5.
He was a minor too, so I couldn't ask him that.
Right. That's like
it's a straight edge kid just trying to like
he just like
yo.
What's he doing? Is he doing the Johnny Bravo?
Yeah, dude.
You're the burger man.
That just reminds me.
I was so upset because like I was out like
because it was a Stella.
Ain't cheap.
I'm a broke motherfucker, dude.
It was a Stella Artois and it cost $6. It cost $6 a Sokol.
I was so heartbroken that night.
You had to fight for like 20 people to get to the damn bar in the first place.
So when I was in high school in one of my PE classes, we had a PE teacher named Mr. Lutz, and when we'd play dodgeball, he would give you an A for the day. If you seen somebody on their phone and you knock their phone out of their hand, you get an A. That's almost what it's like when you get into a pit and somebody's just like not supposed to be there. You're like, you got it coming, dude. You're gonna get donkey kicked.
See, like my favorite things though is like when you had like the wild stories from it, because like I'll never forget this moment from our tour when we played in Bloomington in a garage, literally someone's fucking garage or whatever. We started playing and our friends started throwing down, but then like the people who hadn't heard of us like started getting into it because we obviously have some like really heavy moments that like anyone can really get into. Like you can just kind of feel it. Some motherfucker just picks up a fucking mattress and just starts flinging around at fucking people. And we have like our friends from With Crows, like the drummer and the bassist of With Crows, is like army crawling across the fucking ground. It was the best thing ever. And then I remember later that night, I found like this stuffed rabbit in the garage. So I started like flinging that back and forth. I actually knocked someone's phone out of their hand and I started beating people.
Good, A+ for the day. You get an A+ for the day.
Oh, shout out Bloomington for that one. That one was fucking wild.
Then your parents come home, they're like, how'd you do? And I passed. A+, I knocked 3 phones.
Passed the podcast, Dad. Love me.
I passed 3, where I knocked out 3 phones out of 3 hands. So,
God.
Does that mean I win?
I don't know, because like there's like times where I've always been like, just because since me and you've been seeing some like, we've seen some injuries at some fucking shows, because you'll walk out where you'll be like sitting outside Sokol and be like, oh look, there's the kid with a couple teeth knocked out, there's the broken nose, there's the most infamous one. I don't know if you remember this one or not.
Is that the Commons?
The Timberwolves jersey dude who picked up a kid. I believe it was at August Burns Red at Sokol. Picked up a kid and like slammed him down on the ground and basically like folded him in half.
Heavy.
Why? Yeah, no, he did that, and I actually remember because the entire scene, because he's shown back up a couple times since that incident, and each time like he gets into a fight of some sort and has to get like chased out of the goddamn venue, because like this is when like Austin Gall and Kevin Prue and all of them were still in there, and so like he's getting like chased out the fucking venue. Like there's people still trying to hit him as he's running outside the fucking venue. Like shit used to get fucking wild.
Yeah, it's like no matter I guess how violent it gets, there's some sort of respect, because you know people go in there, they want to have a good time, they don't intend to hurt anybody, and I mean I've seen some times where it's gotten out of hand, where people have to get kicked out of the bar, or you see somebody who is standing on the edge of the pit and they get fucking whacked in the face, and then they think it's intentional.
Yeah,
honestly, I think that's one of my favorite things about Omaha, because like I've been to a few shows outside of Omaha, and like Omaha's got it like really good. Like people are actually like really respectful and really mindful, minus the fact if you're on the edge of the pit, you know, timing and location, like we were talking.
Say it louder into that mic.
Timing and location.
If you see Ty, run for the fucking hills.
If you hear a bell,
he's still really respectful.
He really is. He used to be a lot worse. Like,
you know,
if you hear ding, run.
One single China hit. Death.
Yeah.
I can't. It's been a long time since, you know, that I've seen somebody just go up and like straight like crowd kill, like literally like full on like punch them.
Right.
Well, not just like, you know, a wrestling match. You know, not like one of those. Like it's been a while since I've actually seen somebody get crowd killed.
It's literally fights is when that actually.
Like, it's only a full on fight that happens.
Otherwise, it's like an accidental hit. We turn around, we're like, oh shit, sorry, and then we like go back at it.
I'm gonna Stone Cold Sounder somebody.
Could you just imagine like Canadian fucking watchmen like, oh sorry.
2-step, they're like
fucking joke.
2-step, they're like A. And they're just like every step is just another A.
God.
All right, I give
this
up.
joke too far. Anyway.
Yeah, I give up.
You
guys haven't even complimented me on these new shoes.
I didn't even notice.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
Fresh.
Say you like them, Eddie.
Lick them.
Yeah, lick my goddamn shoes. Can I get your autograph?
Can I get your saliva?
Can I get your saliva?
I got these $2 flip flops from Walmart.
So I got my running shoes that are also my work shoes.
But you don't run.
I run at fuck. I run at work. That's my cardio for the day.
Run to the bathroom?
No, they actually. I work at a fulfillment center, so I'm back on the warehouse life again. That shit keeps you busy.
One of my old bosses at Shoe Carnival, he used to say this all the time. He'd be like, "Hey, can I run to the bathroom?" He'd go, "It'd be safer if you walked."
How did you not punch him just square in the throat?
Yeah, I got some stupid work stories.
Say, the only thing I'll ever fucking remember is either like working at a haunted house or working at Toys R Us.
Did you dress up for the haunted house? Man, I'm ripping them.
So does the world. Anywho, no, it would have to be the best stories. Would either be the Toys R Us at Christmas or working at haunted houses. Just because you always get good stories working at.
Pick
haunted
A
houses.
or B. Pick A or B.
What one's what?
Just pick A or B.
A.
Haunted house. So it's a haunted house one.
Yes.
See, that's what I was doing.
This is participation.
Yeah. I can't just.
Okay, so I remember. I'll start with the first one I did, which was Shadow's Edge by Manglesons. I was like 14, 15 years old, and I swear to God, when you're like a small teenager, like, and you're working in a haunted house, it gives you like some weird sense of power, because you just realize that it's like just because of like the way that they do you up and like the way you're set up, you can like scare like full grown adults to the point of like where they're running out of your room. So the night I did this, I was like a Leatherface-esque person in a doctor's office. So it was basically like a Dr. Leatherface character or whatever. And I had this clearly fake chainsaw. And so my scare is I popped out of the room and strobe lights would go off and I would use the chainsaw and chase them out of there. There was a group of like 10 people, but I was smart this time because I choose when I get to go out. So I waited till like half of them were like, one of them was like right out the door, and I just run in like chasing them with the behind the feet with the chainsaw.
Classic.
They were like crawling over each other trying to get out.
You know what would have been funnier?
And no, I followed them out to the exit too. So I was still like, I was doing the Leatherface fucking like chainsaw over the head.
It would have been funny if you popped out and you're like, "Oh, sorry, wrong room," and then just walk.
Well,
back
I think
in.
I did have one. Like one of the times that night is I thought I saw somebody, so I popped out and was ready to go, and then I just like looked back and I'm like, oh shit! And then a group was coming up and I'm just like, hey. Then the other good story I got is oh god, I'll never forget this. I worked at Scary Acres in the forest before it turned into the circus freak show thing or whatever, and I had this act I would do where it was kind of like I was like kind of like part like animal. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is my routine was I would pop up on a barrel, hop off the barrel, and chase them like on all fours like this. There was one time where it was a full group, and it was a colder night, so the barrel I was on was beginning to get a little damp from the condensation and whatnot.
I already know what this is.
And what happened is I land on the barrel, I growl, and I start sliding forward. But I keep my character like solid until like I'm getting like halfway to falling. Then I fall, roll, land on all fours, crack like the most evil grin I can, and start charging at him. I have never seen so many adults run at a full sprint out of my goddamn area. Because I'm chasing them, and then I stand up on all fours and I'm just like, wow, I just killed that one.
Do you think it'd be scarier to do that at a haunted house or just have regular people dress up normal in broad daylight and that happen?
It's just like, hi, I'm your bill collector.
Jesus Christ.
Did you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
That's what, oh my god, that's pretty much what people do when
God,
they knock
how
on
it works now.
the Jehovah's Witnesses. Could you imagine?
That's probably what a church haunted house has to be like. Where it's just like, I'm a druggie. Like,
What do you think it would take for you to listen to one of the Jehovah's Witnesses?
I don't think I could ever listen to them. And actually, I think they'll never come back towards me again. Because I had one day where it's like, they came to my house that when I lived off 120th and West Center for a hot minute. They came to my house 3 weekends in a row. So the third weekend, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get these motherfuckers. So what did I decide to do? I had a Behemoth CD in my PlayStation 2 at the time because I didn't have a boombox because I was broke. So I was wearing my shirt with a banner, which is this like goat like centaur thing, like just ripping someone apart. And I go answer the door to the song "Slave Shall Serve" by Behemoth playing, and it was like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, nothing. I'm gonna go have a nice weekend. It's like, don't come back. He's like, gotcha.
You know the most awkward thing is when you meet new friends and they're not like in the scene, right?
Uh-huh.
And then let's just say they're in the car with you, and then you're like, you take 5 or 10 minutes to go through your music.
Right.
They're like, just play something.
And then you're like, I can't.
Yeah. They're like, oh, play anything.
You don't want to hear my stuff.
Yeah,
No.
I like all kinds of music. I hate that. They say, I like all kinds of music. Just don't
I
play.
test that. I'll play Slam if they say they listen to all
Just-
types of music. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The fucking
just
like
don't-
cricket vocals.
At my previous job, all I did was like text and chat like all
You did this
all
too?
day, all day. So like I would
Hi,
have my
guys.
headphones in, jamming some music, and then like you start singing some Infinite Annihilator music, just
Yeah.
not giving a shit, because like you're in like your own like own little corner, and then like somebody like walks by, you're like, shit.
Well, the worst thing is when you're like trying to, when your Bluetooth or your headphones go out and they do that one boop, and then all of a sudden your music starts playing out loud. Yeah. And then like all the offices I've ever worked in are just like dead quiet. It's just everybody's chilling out there on their headphones. So I've had that happen I think one time, and luckily I was looking at my phone when it happened. But it'd just be the most embarrassing thing. Because if you play like Attila and they're like,
I've had that happen actually just the other day when I was at school. It was like I just gotten in from driving from my car, and or driving in, and I have my Bluetooth speaker or whatever, and I forgot to shut off Spotify or whatever. So I went to go open my phone, and of course I'm listening to like Belphegor, which is like this highly super satanic fucking band. So. It's just, I'm just like, oh shit, down, turn off. But Spotify was crashing, so I couldn't close it off, and so I just had to turn it down. I'm just like, great first day back.
that's the sign.
The sign.
That's the sign. We'll just end it like this. Say what you want to say to the camera, because we got to be dones. Because the roommates are almost
Till
home.
next time.
We'll plug your band and stuff.
Yeah. Do I have to?
You don't want to say anything about your cool band?
Oh, I guess.
Go ahead. Speaking of
We suck, but follow us from this day forward. Yeah. We're on everything. Check us out. Devin from Deathwish.
We also suck, but we'll just tell it straight to your face. We're on everything. You can catch us on October 29th playing with the Acacia Strain and Left Behind at Sokol Underground. Hit us up for tickets when we get them, if we ever get them.
All right. We're done. Adios.